What up, folks? Tim Dog in the house, June 12th, 2020. Coming at you on a Sunday. It's been about 4 months since the last video. A lot has changed. We're going to start right here, man. This is a 2-up of the 1995 canceled Baroness. I do collect, as most of my friends know, I collect, the focus of my collection is now female prototypes. And this is probably going to be my grail until I'm dead. As you know, it's really hard to get female 2-ups. It's hard to get any 2-ups, let alone female. It's even harder to get canceled figures. This is a close-up look of what she looks like. 2-ups, twice the size of a regular figure. That's the weapon that was going to come in her launcher. And that's a casted 3 3/4 figure of what the actual figure was going to look like. And then behind her is some artwork that came with her, sketches and whatnot. And so we're really just honored to have that in our collection. And this is also another 2-up of the Marvel Shard Toy Biz line figure, and that's the carded figure that was the release figure. So anyways, normally I start in the Scarlet display as for tradition, but today we had to start there. We're going to move on around real quick to the Scarlet display. We feel a lot of pressure every time to have something new in the Scarlet display for you, and today is no exception. We got an unpainted Arukin Scarlet head. That's on an Arukin body. The front four are all Arukin, little variants of each other. And the rest is like my Athena, Plastorama, European, Japanese. We did get a second Glinda. Really hard to tell, but the paint colors are a little different on those, so I do kind of consider that a variant. I have a surprise for you for the next video in the Scarlet display, but you'll have to wait and see for that one. Today we're going to try to make good time. A lot has changed. I sold all my male figures. I just pretty much concentrate now on female figures and female prototypes. So we're just going to kind of pan over stuff today. We'll stop here and there and talk about what's new. I think the best thing to do is do a series of videos for each section: Star Wars, comic, G.I. Joe. But today we'll kind of stop and highlight some of the big stuff. I did get a second City Strike Scarlet. As you know, those are super hard to find. And the second one on the left is also complete. And so I wanted to kind of have one geared and one ungeared to kind of show you kind of what she would look like. So anyways, this is the rest of my Scarlet display. Kind of moving on around here. We did get another Arctic Scarlet. We actually are working on getting another Coral, which is cool. We did add another few 25th prototypes. That one's got like the unpainted gear. And let me get out the trusty Ghetto Fabulous flashlight. We really need some LED lights back here, but we wanted to show you, like, we got a couple Resolute prototypes. And we got a couple of the Comic Pack Scarlet, a couple green ones, a couple black ones. Sorry, it's kind of hard. It's kind of dark back there, but I got to do either flash on or flash off for the whole video. So, but again, we're gonna move that whole display anyway. So I kind of want to just glance there. Several of these some Baroness prototypes are new. This one came from my buddy, a new friend actually on eBay. He's SSU Shop. He's got some just incredible stuff. Check out this Baroness. Test shot proto glasses. That's the pre-production pouch and her pre-production glasses. And then check out this test shot with the cool arms. So, and then we added a few more of those. Anyways, if anybody has any questions on that 95 Baroness 2-up, feel free to hit me up on my email, joesandcobras.com. I would love to chat about her. Again, man, shameless plug. I collect female prototypes, comic, DC, Star Wars, G.I. Joe. We do have some Fortnite figures. I collect 2-ups. If you guys want to chat about that, you want to buy, sell, trade, hit me up, joesandcobras@gmail.com. I do love to just chat about the hobby too and make friends. So this is all new. This is all redone. This is all my Baroness display. Moving on around. All these are prototypes and figures, release figures of the Baroness. Um, this is new. That's a prototype of Jody Shooter. It was supposed to come out in the O-ring era. That's like a concept figure that came from one of my good homeboys. Moving up top deck, we kind of revamped just pretty much everything, man. This is like my Dana display. We got a buttload of new Dana prototypes. So yes, I am guilty of army building. I've seen a lot of people do like army builds of like Crimson Guard and Cobra soldiers, and I thought it would be cool to army build prototypes. So if I see a good deal on doubles and triples, I pick those up. That is new. That has actually stirred up quite the hornet's nest. That white Dana right there on the left. A lot of people telling me she's real. A lot of people telling me she's fake. I've been offered a lot of money for it. So you know what, man? For the time being, we're just going to keep it, see what happens. Anyways, all right. Let's move out here. Bomb strike display. We added another bomb strike. We're just, again, going to kind of pan over stuff. We're going to try to make some good time. That's new. Helix test shot. That's new. We added a couple G.I. Jane test shots. Let's kind of get a far shot here so people can kind of see what's going on with that. Getting over into the Lady J display. Some of these are new. The 25th Lady J's. That's new. That purplish test shot. That's new. This Lady J's new with unpainted like prototype gear. Cruising out to these four right here are new. They're doubles. I got those in pairs. Those are doubles, kind of like unpainted and then partial paints. That's new. That convention Lady J prototype. That's new. These are all test shots of some of the more modern Lady J's. That figure is the same as that one. We just got a really good deal on a second test shot. That is new. That was really hard to find. That's a test shot of, I think that's version 9. These are all like samples, partial paints up here, and then of course the carded figure. So that's pretty much that flag. I think that's pretty much everybody on that flag. We're gonna move over here. So this whole deck has been revamped. This is all like my comic deck. Marvel on the left, DC on the right. One thing I have found that's kind of really funny is Marvel prototypes are super, super hard to find, especially the 3 3/4 female. DC, on the other hand, I seem to trip and fall over. So we'll kind of just pan over here. This is like not all of them, but most of like the Marvel female line. You know, I got Miss Marvel's Hulks. That's a convention of Nebula. We're just going to kind of pan over this so you guys can check these out. Again, this is most of the 3 3/4 female line, but not all. There's a few oddball ones I still need to get. Prototype-wise, the only ones I've ever scored are these two of Black Widow from I think that's from the Capcom game. And I do have a hard copy on the way, which is really cool, of, oh, Kitty Pryde, where'd you go? Uh-oh. Enchantress must have had a little too much to drink. We'll fix that later. Anyways, these do tend to fall over from time to time, but anyways, Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde, where are you at? Kitty Pryde. Yeah, that one right there. We got a hard copy of her coming on the way. We'll probably have that for the next video. Anyways, moving into DC. These are all new. Supergirl from the DC line. She's one of my favorite. That's the release figure. She's one of my favorite action figures, period. These are all prototypes of her. Oh, man, dude, these are super hard to find. These are all kind of like Comet Grail stuff for me. That's the other figure with the headband. Super cool figure. That's like a Japanese Supergirl. She's pretty cool. Anyways, so I love DC. I love Marvel. These are all like Power Girl test shots, and then the release figure. Batwoman. I got a test shot of her. These are all, this is my Black Canary Army. I got a really good deal on most of these duplicates. Those are the two release figures. My buddy Dead Trigger, this is a good time to bring up some of my comic buddies. Dead Trigger 2 on eBay, he did my whole Raven army. I'm going to kind of pan out so you can kind of see that. That's the release figure. SSU Shop, he helped me out with a lot of these too. That's a Raven. Oh, can I get in there a little closer? That's a Raven test shot from their other line. Sudafed 24 on eBay did a lot of these for me. That's like my Starfire and Star Sapphire figures. Wonder Girl, Wonder Woman. There's a Harbinger back there. That's kind of just some oddball stuff. I know I try not to mix Marvel and DC, but I wanted to hang these kind of in a cool spot. That's like Harley Quinn. That's a Batgirl, I think. Some Spider-Woman's hanging out. Anyways, that's my comic deck. Kind of give you a far shot of that. Oh, gotta get some Mary Batson in there. That's a really cool test shot from Sudafed 24. Anyways, moving on. Trying to make some good time here. Coming down here, that's new. These are both new. That's Sonya Blade and Chun-Li test shots from the G.I. Joe, Street Fighter, and Mortal Kombat lines. In the Jinx display, there's always something new in the Jinx display. We added another test shot. This is a little dark back there, but we added another one of her. And I do have a surprise coming for the Jinx display for the next video. And we will hopefully have that in about a month. And these are just kind of some oddball. Again, I sold all my male figures, and this is my whole, like 99% of my collection is all female now. I do still have some males. If I kept all the vehicle drivers. So if I have a vehicle with a driver, I kept those because I try to be a completionist. Anyways, moving on to the third flag. Not a whole lot is new over here. Most of it's just kind of rearranged. This is all my Viper army now. This is all like redone. My whole Zorana display. I got a couple new Zorana test shots. And this is going to be my like convention Zorana army. I actually have 5 more test shots of her on the way. So we're going to make a cool like little army display out of that. These are all like Fun School, USA. These are all like variants. Some little different belt buckles, hair, gloves, whatnot. I think we had this for the last video. That's that blue Zorana. That's a test shot with pre-production weapons. I can't remember if I had that in the last video or not, so I wanted to bring that up again. A couple of these are new. We added another couple modern protos. So we'll kind of do a pan away of that. I'll give you that shot there. If you have any questions, again, joesandcobras.com. This is new test shot of the Cobra Officer and the Night Stalker Commander. We have 2 of those now. The only 2 I've ever seen with heads. Over here, this is my Munitia prototype display. These are all prototypes. They were all fairly inexpensive, so it made a nice, cool, cheap display. Anyways, and then that's the O-ring release figure and the modern release figure. Not a whole lot's new over here. Kind of just showing you stuff. Not a whole lot new there. I do want to spend the last few minutes on my Star Wars shelf. This isn't Star Wars, but this is Ooh La La from the Sega Dreamcast game. I think it's called Dream Channel 5. The convention figure and then the release figure variant. CoverGirl, a couple of these are new. These CoverGirl test shots. Let's kind of move on around here. Sorry, I gotta walk around the bed. Yes, I sleep in here. So these are new. This is from Senna G.I. Joe on eBay. These are all Fortnite. Not a huge Fortnite collector, but I do collect anything that's a 3.75 female prototype. So we have 7. We have a couple more on the way there. We just started this collecting this line like a couple weeks ago. So these are all really cool. Bright Bomber, Dark Bomber. Rocks. I forgot her name. We're still learning. That's Ghost Ranger. These are cool. Like, these are all test shots of Ghost Ranger, but they're all like a little different. And I got a fifth one of her on the way. Okay, CoverGirl. Oh, this is new. That's a prototype for the modern CoverGirl. I've always wanted one, and finally got one. Let's straighten out her keyboard there. Not a whole lot new there. We got a couple minutes left. I want to wrap it up here with Star Wars. We're gonna do a proper like Star Wars video, but I finally got enough figures now that I can put them on 2 shelves, kind of space them out. These are all like my Padme section. There's some hard copies, test shots, samples. That right there, that's the grail for Star Wars. That's from my buddy Andy Racer 82. Made that possible. Actually, also this Darth Phobos in the left there. That's a test shot for Darth Talon. Yes. These came from my buddy Cha Toys gijoe. He does like Star Wars stuff too. And then another buddy of mine, Carlos Real, he did all those Luminario and Dallas in the back. And anyways, moving on. That's like my Ahsoka display. We'll kind of pan over those a little bit slower. Okay, anyways. Shock T. We got, that's a hard copy. We'll try to zoom in there. That's a Shock T hard copy in the back there on the right. And then we got some test shots of her. Let's do the top shelf, and then we'll move around again. That's really cool. Bastilla Sean test shot. Aura Singh. This is my Princess Leia's. That's my Zam Wessels. And let's move on around to the other side here. Be a little easier to... Almost wrapping it up here, but I kind of wanted to hit these. These are also from my buddy SSU Shop on eBay. These are the Mandalorians, Rav Brailer and Isabet Rowe. If I'm pronouncing those right. There's a lot of Star Wars figures. Hey, man. She's not being very social. That's Ton Lee. She's has a tendency to fall over a little bit. Anyways, that's a test shot of her. These are test shot and release figures of those. A couple Barris Ophies in the back. Dina Shawn, test shot. We got the release figure on the way of her. Deepa. Oh, that's my Sakuras back there. Got some Rey, Proto, some Stas Ali back there. That's a couple Jin figure and Proto. Anyways, man, we're wrapping it up. I also wanted to throw in a shout out to my Fun School buddies, Nostalgia Merchant and Beyond Borders. They handle most of my Rare Fun School, my Red Knox, my Canary Anns, a lot of my Lady J's, Emerald and Fun School Lady J's, and pretty much anything like Rare Fun School. Anyways, I think that's about it. That's the shout outs. That's the comic section. That's the Star Wars. That's the Fortnite. That's the G.I. Joe. I just want to say thank you to all my friends that have really supported me and open up their collections to me, helping me out with the female prototypes and watching the videos. Made a couple cool new friends here lately, and just some real lifer buddies in the hobby. Anyways, any questions? joesandcobras@gmail.com. Tim Dog in the house. We will see you soon. Thanks.